up to. His work ethic was unbelievable, and that's where I learned everything from. He's the one that inspired me to play baseball and to play and get better every single day. So I will forever be grateful and thankful for him.
Well, my dad made me who I am today. All the extra hours he put into perfecting our game and trying to help us to be better baseball players. The countless extra hours in the gym, on the field, making us protein shakes, making us stay on top of a strict workout regimen to be able to be the best athletes we could be.
I definitely wouldn't be here without my dad. With all the countless hours of batting practice and coaching and just everything he did for me, growing up as a baseball player, and it was invaluable. And this is my first Father's Day as a father, so I kind of have a different perspective this year, and it just makes me appreciate everything that he did for me when I was growing up.
A great opportunity for some of these Astros to give some love to their fathers. And how about Jason Castro there at the end, who is a new father? He's not the only one. There are several of those on this team. A lot of babies coming this season, this offseason, and several more on the way. A new perspective for some of these guys in the clubhouse as they become dads. We're so glad you're with us here on Father's Day. Astros baseball is about to get started as they close out the series with the Cincinnati Reds. Mike Fiers will take the mound, and I'm going to send you up to the booth next with Bill Brown and Jeff Blum. Stay with us.
Presented by Lexus. The new 2016 Lexus ES and ES Hybrid. It's next level luxury. By Academy Sports and Outdoors, donating $100 for each Astros home run and $200 for each Correa home run to Houston Children's Charity. And by Southwest Airlines, transparency, low fares, nothing too high. Inside Minute Maid Park, the Reds with a 27-42 record take on the Astros, who are 33-36. It'll be the deciding game of this three-game series. Each club has an 11-inning win. So back-to-back extra inning frames for these two this weekend. Overtime for Jeff Blum. That's been common this year. And now 11 extra inning games for the Astros this year, Blummer.
Yeah, I appreciate all the extra exposure, but I'm about done with it. I'd like to see these guys win a couple ball games in those 9 innings that they should only need.
Now Zach Cozart is the leadoff man. At shortstop for the Reds, it's Joey Votto at first base, batting second. Brandon Phillips hitting third at second base. The DH is Jay Bruce. In left field, Adam Duvall. Third base, Eugenio Suarez. In center field, Billy Hamilton. The catcher's Tucker Barnhart. The right fielder's Tyler Holt. And the pitcher will be lefty Brandon Finnegan. Mike Fiers is on the mound. Let's take a look at his stats, Plummer.
Making his 13th start on the season. He has some familiarity with the Cincinnati Reds, having pitched with the Brewers in that NL Central. Last outing out for Mike Fiers was exceptional. He went 7 innings strong, gave up 2 earned runs, picking up the W against Tampa Bay.
He gets a foul ball from Zach Cozart. There's strike 1 to a .280 hitter. And a 3.67 ERA at home for Mike Fiers, indicative of how well he likes this ballpark. He tweeted out a photo of his uniform jersey and mentioned his dad's name is Bruce Fiers on this happy birthday or happy Father's Day. Now I'm going to be Ralph Kiner. No balls and 2 strikes. Happy Father's Day to all you guys. Cozart 3 for 9 with a homer in this series. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fiers, though, is such a better pitcher at home, and his slider's been increasingly strong and effective. Also, the cutter at home has been used more and more in recent starts for Mike. That's poked out toward second base. Danny Worth has to track it down. Flips over to first on 1 bounce, and there's the play by Marwin Gonzalez for out number 1. Out of the shift, Worth, who's playing second, had to come a long way to his left.
Yeah, Danny Worth in there at second base, giving Altuve the chance to DH here. Talked about Marwin Gonzalez in that open. You get a good look at this play. How about the pick on Supermo, brought to you by Mattress Firm by Marwin Gonzalez? Not only is he doing it with the bat, talked about how well he is with the glove too, anticipating that short hop and picking up Danny Worth.
Those are the Father's Day uniforms. Quite spiffy. Joey Votto's the batter. Votto takes, and the changeup is in for strike 1.
Yeah, that being said, I think Major League Baseball has done an excellent job. We've seen the Memorial Day uniform with the camouflage in there. Now you get to see the baby blue, the Mother's Day uniforms. They've done a great job with these uniforms.
1 ball, 1 strike, and of course prostate cancer always comes to mind with that light blue color on Father's Day in MLB. 11 homers, 36 runs batted in. A lot of money is raised to research a better way to treat prostate cancer and to discover it before it becomes a problem. So you'll see a lot of this light blue throughout Major League Baseball today. A.J. Hinch said we look like the North Carolina Tar Heels. It's 3 balls and a strike. Fiers has generally pitched well for the Astros. He's gotten a lot of no decisions. Votto reaching base at a high clip on the road, 429 since 2015. He grounds this one and through the shift for a single into right field for Votto. And the Reds get a base runner for Brandon Phillips.
Got to hit the ball pretty hard to get it through these shifts, or you just got to have it placed perfectly, and Votto did.
Votto now at first. That gives Phillips an opening on the right side. Phillips with 6 homers, 28 runs batted in, has a .258 batting average, and 2 for 16 in his career against Fiers. That's in the air. Valbuena near third base. Takes it in. Fair ball. 2 out. And Jay Bruce will follow. That'll be a special time for Jay Bruce to come back close to home in Beaumont this weekend on a Father's Day weekend. And his numbers are glittering. 51 runs batted in, second in the National League. He leads the league in triples with 6. And he is 7th in total bases. Bruce used to be more of a pull hitter, and the infield aligns that way on him, but the outfielders do not play him to pull. Carlos Gomez is shading toward left center field. Good play by Evan Gattis, sliding to his right to block ball 1.
Evan getting the start, giving Jason Castro the day off, facing all these left-handers in this series. Good stop.
Jason Castro's caught the first couple of games of this series. Fly ball heads for Gomez in center field. And he takes it in for the third out. No runs a hit and the man left. No score after 1/2 inning. Up for A.J. Hinch. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. George Springer leads it off. He's the right fielder. He has been putting on a show. At first base, it's Marwin Gonzalez. The DH today, batting third, is Jose Altuve. The cleanup man is shortstop Carlos Correa. With Carlos Gomez in center field, Danny Worth at second base, Evan Gattis the catcher, Luis Valbuena at third base, Jake Marisnick in left field.
On the mound for the Cincinnati Reds, another left-hander, third one in this series. See him making his 15th start. Brandon Finnegan came over from the Royals, now pitching for the Cincinnati Reds. Has a live arm, has a good fastball, usually pitching out of that bullpen. Cincinnati needs pitching, so they put him into the rotation. He's done pretty good. A good athlete out there. Has 3 pitches. Fastball averages around 92 miles an hour. Has a changeup and a slider. Walks can be an issue. Has a tough time locating that fastball.
George Springer takes that fastball outside. There's ball 1 to George. He's on a 3-game hitting streak with a .268 average, 15 homers, 41 runs batted in. He's notched it up to .290 since May 24th with 6 homers. And the Astros have taken off since that time. Since Springer was promoted to the leadoff spot, they've gone 16-8. And Springer, over those 24 games, has hit .290, as you saw, driving in 16. Grounds to shortstop. Cozart makes the play. 1 out for Finnegan. And now it'll be Marwin Gonzalez batting. Marwin is another guy who's gotten very hot the last few weeks. In his last 16 games, he's been a .351 hitter. 20 hits and 57 at bats, trying to lay claim to this first base spot and the number 2 spot in the lineup, Plummer.
And we just saw him earlier in this game pick a ball at first base. So the defense and offense have really come alive for Marwin Gonzalez. Huge asset for A.J. Hinch, not having to panic if a guy gets injured or if he needs a matchup. He can plug Marwin Gonzalez in there.
Little roller. Finnegan over, bare-handing, and he throws him out. More difficult play for a left-handed pitcher, but he made it well for out number 2.
You said it, Brownie. You got to spin, but how about spinning and able to pick up Joey Votto and making a good throw on the inside part of the diamond? Not easy to do.
Jose Altuve in his first game as the DH comes up now, trying to start a rally with 2 outs. He's 1 for 7 in this series. .341 for the season, 92 hits, second in the majors. And that's ball 1. Altuve is hitting .377 against lefties this year. That's 5th best in the American League. Bounce to the left side. Cozart without number 3. In a 6-pitch first inning for Finnegan. No score.
Eddie was going. It's skied to left. Deion Sanders at the wall, and Bagwell has his first major league home run. Line drive right center field. That's number 3,000, and he drives in a run, and he's going for second. Taveras with the throw. He's out, but that's 3,000 hits for Craig Biggio. And he got it. A no-hitter for Mike Fiers.
We are back. It is a beautiful Father's Day, and that was a tribute to Brownie. Today marks 30 years with the Houston Astros. A special voice, a special man being recognized here by the Houston Astros. We are all thankful that you have been here this long, Brownie.
Well, thank you. The pleasure's all mine, and we thank everybody for allowing us into their homes. It's just been a real treat, and it's gone so quickly. Strike 2, Adam Duvall, and what a thrill. That was a complete surprise to get that nice gift. Thanks to Jim Crane and Reed Ryan and everybody in the Astros front office. We've been opened as far as our eyes opened by Duvall and what he's done, but this time it's an easy ground out. But this guy's got some serious pop. We're going way back here, Blummer.
I love it, Brownie. That's the beauty of this. You stick around long enough, they're going to accumulate some of this stuff, and it's been great. You know, I was lucky enough to have you on some of my highlight reels, and now sitting next to you and learning about the history. You've written, how many books have you written?
A couple.
There you go.
But I had to have a lot of help.
And that's the beautiful thing. You're incredibly humble about it, but you have seen and talked a lot of baseball, and I know a lot of fans at home love having your voice on these broadcasts.
Well, thank you. And it's been a real treat to work with you and Ash and Julia this year. There's ball 1, and down through the years, all the great partners. Suarez, 231, 13 homers, 35 runs batted in. He had a power display early this season, but lately he hasn't done a whole lot in the power department. 1-1, and special thanks to Marty Brenneman for leaving his Reds radio broadcast booth and coming down on the field. Craig Biggio and Cheo and all the guys who came down. Correa makes that throw, and Carlos Correa has played 35 games in a row without making an error. You guys have been digging deep into the archives here, Blummer.
There's an exchange of knowledge right there. Lance Berkman and Brownie. The original crew.
Fun group. And being around Milo, of course, very influential. Gene Elston did such a wonderful job for his 25 years with this club. And the current players are terrific to work with. And especially that guy. So much fun to watch him in Cooperstown. Billy Hamilton takes ball 1 upstairs. He's always a threat to bunt. 268 for Hamilton, 2 homers, 10 runs batted in. It's really odd to see the Reds with the red helmet, yes, but no other red trim on their uniform here. In for a strike. That's a good pitch from Mike Fiers.
Yeah, there's quite the ensemble. Even Billy Hamilton with that arm sleeve. Woo.
Breaking out the stylishness today. Target is up in the pitch, and of course, if you're a pitcher, you'd rather have Hamilton hit a weak fly ball somewhere than let him put his legs to use on a grounder to the left side. Fiers has the stuff to do that. Big curveball gets a strikeout. And that's a 10-pitch inning for Mike Fiers, who punctuates it with his first strikeout of the day. 0-0.
Between the Reds and Astros. Join the Astros at Minute Maid Park on Saturday, July 2nd, when they take on the White Sox. 10,000 fans will receive a Carlos Correa Rookie of the Year bobblehead presented by Coca-Cola. For more information, visit Astros.com or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. Brownie.
Hey, Julia, I saw your dad, Victor, and your mom in the stands today. Are we going to hear from Victor later on Father's Day?
Oh, man, we might.
Good.
If there's time. You know, he'd love to.
Yeah, I think you guys have been practicing your broadcasts over the years from what I saw on Twitter.
Oh, classic home video tweet. Yes.
It was awesome.
Good. 256 for Correa, 9 homers. He's driven in 33. There's ball 1 to Carlos, who's put together a 3-game hitting streak. Correa has a home run in this series. He's gone 2 for 9. That's another wide one from Finnegan, one of 3 left-handed pitchers who came from Kansas City in the trade last July for Johnny Cueto, and we have seen all 3 starting in this series. Amazing. 2-1. This is the first time since 2006 the Reds have started a left-handed pitcher 3 games in a row. Pretty unusual.
Yeah, everything around the whole situation has been unusual. 3 left-handed pitchers in a row in one series, and all coming from the Kansas City Royals in one trade. That was wild.
And now Johnny Cueto, of course, has moved on to San Francisco. Correa draws a walk. He's drawn 35 walks this year. He's in the top 8 in the American League. You indicated that control has been an issue with Finnegan. That's his 39th walk in 83 1/3 innings, Plummer.
Yeah, that's an issue. Got a good fastball like Finnegan has. I'd like to see him be able to locate that a little bit better. And what we've heard in the scouting reports is when he is in the strike zone, he actually creates pretty good movement, good run on that fastball to the arm side in the zone. But it's just the ability to be consistent with that release point.
Carlos Gomez with a 209 average. Started the swing. He checked it. And the pitch was in the dirt. They appeal to first base. Bill Welke rules no swing. DJ Rayburn is the home plate umpire today. There's 1-0 now to Gomez. And you can see he did control the bat very well. During his 4-game hitting streak, Carlos is 8 for 17. 4 for 10 in this series. Had 3 hits Friday. He's coming along. Chase that one, and it's 1-1.
Carlos Gomez a little aggressive against Finnegan.
Yep.
Check swing on a ball 3 feet out in front of home plate. Now swinging at one well out of the zone. Looks like he's trying to go that way.
Mm-hmm. Throw to first base. That's a move to file away, Blummer.
Yeah, you got to keep an eye on these lefties. They have the advantage of staring right at that base runner at first base, but very few have good pickoff moves to first base, relying more on just the ability to stare at them, keep them close. But that is a balk move for me.
Yeah, it really is with that step.
It's not even going towards first base.
Let's check it out.
That is awful.
Mm-hmm. Trying to bunt. Gomez misses 1 and 2. I think after looking at that move, the base runners might shut it down today.
Yeah, especially if it's not going to get called, because if you have the opportunity of getting in the ear of first base umpire Bill Welke and say, hey, keep an eye on that, because that's pretty bad. Looks like he's going more to home plate than he is to first base. Then he might try and extend that lead and get the call. But I'm with you, Brownie. If he's going to get away with it, that's a tough one to pick up.
Ball 2. Good to see Alan Ashby today.
Yes, it was. It's good to hear Alan Ashby when we had a chance to talk to him.
We know a lot of people have asked about Alan. He'll be back on the air tomorrow night. Blummer gets a little 3-day rest before hooking up with Ash on the road trip. Bouncer, and it's covered by Suarez. He gets it on to second. Phillips relays to first. That's a 5-4-3 double play. 56th of the year for the Reds. Phillips is one of the best defensively.
Yeah, he's been doing it for years at second base. Suarez gave him a good feed. Even though Brandon is out of position on that throw, still has enough on it to beat Carlos Gomez going down to first.
Danny Worth playing second today, so Altuve's legs can get a rest. Has a 214 average. Has a pair of doubles. And they came yesterday in that 2-for-5 game. He also lined out a couple of times. There's ball 1. Well, Worth looks as if he might be a valuable asset to the Astros bench. In fact, that was his first career major league game with multiple extra base hits yesterday.
He's got a good take on this one. Poor catcher Barnhart back there didn't know what to do.
No, he did not. 2-0 from Finnegan. Finnegan's been on a nice roll lately. He's 2-2 with a 2.41 ERA his last 5 starts, and he's gone at least 6 innings in all 5 of those. That's a hit. First of the game for an Astro, coming from Danny Worth, who was hitting .340 at AAA Fresno.
And with those number of .340 down in AAA, he was hitting very well off left-handers. I think that is why the timing of his call-up was so crucial, knowing that the Astros are going into the series against 3 left-handed starting pitchers. But again, not too much to that stroke from Danny Worth, just doing a good job of centering the baseball up and hitting it hard where it's pitched.
He's aboard for Evan Gattis. Gattis takes ball 1 outside. 207 for Evan. 10 homers, 26 runs batted in. He snapped an 0 for 23 with his 2-run homer in the 7th inning yesterday. That lifted the Astros to a 4-2 lead. One and 1 to Gaddis. When Gaddis is the starting catcher, the Astros record is 7-4.
Take a look at that pitch on our strike zone, brought to you by MD Anderson. A little bit of a chase by Evan Gaddis. But again, he hit that bomb yesterday, probably trying to do the same thing on that one.
It's a liner to right center field. That's a hit and an extra base hit. Worth coming to third. He's going to be sent home by Gary Pettis. And the relay is not going to come to the plate. It's 1-0 Houston. RBI double for Gaddis. His 27th run batted in on double number 7 for Evan.
Great piece of hitting going the other way by Evan Gaddis. Might be the approach by the Houston Astros. We've seen a couple of swings where the Astros were swinging at those pitches off the outside corner, but this one right here, Gaddis is able to get the barrel on it and drive it just past Holt out there in right field, and Danny Wirtz scores easy.
That's a 2-out rally right after a double play ball. Luis Valbuena comes up. The shift is on for him. Strike one. Valbuena at 237 with 7 homers, has 19 runs batted in. 1 for 5 in this series. On that 10-day road trip, he hit .308. In the dirt for a ball, and it's 1-1. Finnegan last time out Tuesday in Atlanta beat the Braves 3-1 and gave up 1 run in 6 innings through 102 pitches. Has the 3rd lowest first pitch strike percentage in the majors. 52% of the time he throws a strike on the first pitch to the batter. That's called a strike, and it's 1-2.
Good location on that heater. Finnegan getting the benefit of the call.
He's thrown only 2 of 8 first pitch strikes today. It's 2-2. Jake Marisnick on deck. The Angels are here tomorrow night to start a 3-game series, and that'll do it for this homestand. It's a different look for the Astros with that light blue coloring this year for Father's Day. Foul back, and a nice touch with some of the players throwing out first pitches to their fathers, or their fathers threw out the first pitches to them, actually.
Yeah, the Astros do a good job on these days bringing in families and stuff like that. I remember when I was here my second go around with the Houston Astros, they actually had Pink at the Park, I think it was called, and they flew my mom out from California, and she threw out the first pitch and got to enjoy all the festivities. So yeah, the Astros are keen on all that stuff, which is great.
I remember that. Foul away. That's a special moment for Mom or Dad. Got to talk with Scott McHugh on the field. His son Colin is celebrating his 29th birthday today. So what a day. Father's Day and a birthday on the same day.
Double bonus round.
Yeah. Alice Keuchel's father Dennis was there. Broken bat up the middle, and this will get on through into center field. Gaddis around to score. Valbuena with an RBI single. 2-0 Houston. A 2-strike, 2-out broken bat run producing hit for Valbuena, his 20th RBI.
Yeah, that soldier's going to die a hero right there for Valbuena, getting blown up again. 2 strikes, put the ball in play. Sometimes good things can happen, and that shift on, Valbuena does a great job of beating it with that line drive up the middle. Some 2-out lightning from the Houston Astros. Good to see.
5th run batted in off the lefty. Jake Marisnick is the batter. Actually, left-handed batters have done better in batting average against Finnegan. They're hitting .250 against him with no homers. Right-handed hitters .224 against him with 10 homers. Marisnick 177, 1 homer. He's driven in 6, won the 148 average in June. Let's take a look at the dads. I didn't get to see all these guys, Plummer.
Yeah, it's great. Of course, they all threw strikes, right?
Oh, Doug Fister's dad, Jason Castro's dad, yeah.
That is great. What an honor.
Keuchel and McHugh. This will be the 25th pitch of the inning for Finnegan. And after the back-to-back 11-inning games here, the Reds' bullpen is somewhat taxed. One ball, one strike. But Brian Price did save the other relievers by using only Josh Smith in relief yesterday for 3 1/3 innings after Cody Reed went the first 7. Jim Riggleman there, the bench coach in the middle. Mark Riggins closer to the camera as the pitching coach. Marisnick swings at that one. It's 1-2 for Jake. Colby Rasmus on the bench today, as well as Jason Castro and Tony Kemp, 3 left-handed hitters. In tight, 2-2. Reds have given the Astros fits since the 08 season. Houston 21-45 against Cincinnati in that period of time. But yesterday the Astros evened the series by winning for the 400th time in their long series with the Reds. The Astros continue to be a good team in interleague play in 2016. They're 7-4 against National League clubs. And last year they excelled in that department. They're 23-8 the last 2 years against the National League. Runner going. There's the throw in the dirt. Phillips with the tag. Out at second base. So that'll do it in the second inning. And the Astros wind up with 2 runs on 3 hits. They lead it 2-0.
Department 2 always was there. He still giving son a back. He get mad at me when I strike out or hit a ground ball. Just start telling me I have to hit the ball to the other way. But I still pay attention to him.
Jose Altuve DHing today. He looks a bit bored. 2-0 Astros. We go to the third inning.
Good time for some manscaping.
Tucker Barnhart leading it off. Ball one's upstairs to the switch hitting catcher, a .239 hitter with 2 homers, 10 runs batted in, 1 for his last 18. He was 1 for 4 in last night's game. Fiers guides it in at 81 for a strike, and it's 1-1. The off-speed stuff has been pretty good for Mike this year.
Really has. That was a good changeup right there. But when Mike's going good, he's got that fastball located up in the zone. Then he can bring that hammer. But today the changeup has made an appearance. Pretty good one too.
He gets a foul ball there. It's 1-2.
That's that elevated fastball. Let's see what he does next.
And that's a pitch he really needs, right, to make the other stuff effective.
No, I completely agree. And that's Brent Strom you saw right there on the right-hand part of the screen. He has really preached throwing to high strikes in the zone to set up those off-speed pitches down.
A little bit too high there, and it's 2-2.
And again, that pitch is created in that location to get the chase. But even if the hitter does not chase, it gives him the ability to change the eye level and maybe go down in the zone with some off speed. Looks like he wants the fastball down.
He left it up, and it's 3-2. He has a somewhat complicated delivery, correct?
Yeah, I would agree on that. And again, it's that glove arm coming way high, and then it kind of exchanging places with that right arm coming over the top. But it's really tough to find that release point and be consistent sometimes for Mike Fiers.
Struck him out instead of ball 4. Barnhart dropped the bat. He'll turn back the other way on strikeout number 2 for Fiers.
I guarantee you Barnhart is asking, you better, if you're going to call that on me, you better call it for my pitchers too, because that ball is up out of the zone. Right at the letters. There you see the windup. The glove comes out first, then he exchanges places with it with that right arm coming over the top. One of the more true over the top pitchers that you see in the major leagues too.
Yes. Strike one to Tyler Holt, playing right field today. First time we've seen him in this series. A .250 hitter with 7 runs batted in. He's 3 for his last 26. He started in center field in 7 of the 8 games when Billy Hamilton was injured on the concussion disabled list. Whacks this one on a line to right. George Springer makes the play for the second out. That one was drilled.
Yeah, it looked like it was hit pretty hard underneath the lights. Like a hanging changeup. Holt ripped it. Again, George getting used to the home confines, stays with it, makes a nice play on it.
Isn't that the way to play it, though? Change the eye level a little bit if it's up in the lights.
Yeah, you got to create those angles. You're exactly right, Brownie.
Cozart grounded out, and Danny Worth made an excellent play to get him. Off-speed pitch low for ball 1 to Zach Cozart. He leads the Reds in doubles with 17. I think a lot of people really enjoy the way Major League Baseball is sprucing up the uniforms for different special occasions like Father's Day.
I agree. It's good for marketing. It's good that the money goes to charities, helping those causes that are represented by the colors.
2-1. Well, Colin McHugh is involved in selling T-shirts for prostate cancer research. His dad Scott is in town meeting with some of the doctors at hospitals to direct those funds. That's whacked to left field, and they're getting up in the seats, but it's wide of that target that the hitter wanted, Cozart, and it's 2-2 as he steered it foul.
Yeah, that's just a loud, long strike, thankfully. Change-up left up in the zone, and Cozart belted it. Turns into pinball out there sometimes.
He ponged that one right off the wall. A pitcher can really turn a foul ball like that in his favor, can't he? Even though the hitter just shillelied it.
Yeah, sometimes you get that big swing from a hitter and he launches it just foul. And the pitcher and the catcher can get together and kind of judge what pitch to go to next because they know he was a little bit quick on a hanging changeup. Saw Fiers back it up with a better changeup down. Cozart just laid off it.
Now a line drive left field corner will be a fair ball for Cozart. That pops up in the air for Marisnick, and it's a double. The 18th of the year for Cozart.
I didn't have a chance to get to the point, but sometimes when you see a guy tallywhack an off-speed pitch up in the zone, kind of gives you an idea where the bat speed is at. Sometimes they come back with a fastball, but here looked like another off-speed pitch from Mike Fiers. But sometimes you see the quick bat on an off-speed pitch, they come back with that fastball and try and beat him with it.
Cozart is a very good fastball hitter, was waiting back on that one. Now it's Votto. Votto hit a ground ball single through the shift to right field. He's a .404 hitter at Minute Maid Park. That comes in for strike one. Again, starting him with a changeup. Fiers gets out ahead. But Votto then worked the count to 3-1 his first time up and got the single. One and one. Well, it's been great fun, this interleague series. Seeing some of our cohorts in the Reds broadcast booth. Batting average on balls in play, .308 for Votto. Much better than his .247 overall batting average. He struck out 74 times. That was a fastball, and he didn't do anything with it. He looks a little distressed about it. 1-2.
Yeah, it looked like a pretty good pitch to hit. And Votto's approach here in recent years has been take first, it seems like. But here, a center cut fastball. He gets a little bit late. That bat angle coming in just underneath it.
He felt he should have done some damage on that one. Looping line drive left field. Marisnick makes the play. No runs a hit, a runner stranded. The Astros lead it 2-0.
Third. We are dry inside here, luckily. Hey, we have a great Chevy strobe hole for you today on this Father's Day. Who's your favorite father-son baseball combo? We'll start with the three generations, Gus Buddy or David Bell, or the Alou duo. How about Ken or Ken Jr.? And then we have Bobby and Barry Bonds. I know there's more. Tweet at us if you've got some idea of your own. This is fun.
Yeah, those are good ones.
Correa and Altuve fans parading on the concourse as Jake Marisnick leads it off in the third. Jake was at the plate when Luis Valbuena was thrown out trying to steal, ending the last inning. So he gets a second look now. Does that do anything for a hitter? He just faced him a few minutes ago.
I think it does, and I think that was a smart move trying to send Valbuena, because if he gets in scoring position, great. If not, you have this situation right here, and I think the more pitches Marisnick sees from a pitcher, better opportunity he's going to have to get a hit. And we know he needs one, because Billy Hamilton took one away from him last night.
Oh, didn't he? This one's in the air toward the right field line. Holt is coming over, and it's fair, and here's the throw to second, and he is safe. Marisnick hustled it into a double with the indecision of the Reds near the right field line.
Well, I'm not a believer in everything evening out. Marisnick was robbed last night on a great play by Billy Hamilton, but here on this beautiful Father's Day, it does even out for him. 3 guys right around that Bermuda Triangle, and it drops in. And credit Jake Marisnick for the hustle, too, getting into second base. Attaboy, Jake.
That was a strong throw also.
There you go. You know, that was a great replay, because you see the reaction from Jake. He's upset at himself, but he put his head down and ran. There are ways to redirect some of that anger on the baseball field, and that's how you do it right there.
Excellent point. George Springer takes, and there's ball 1 to George. He bounced out to shortstop in the first. Yeah, if you want to get mad, go ahead and run. You may wind up with an extra base hit. That beats banging the bat on the ground and breaking it while standing at home plate. And the ball drops near the right field line. You wind up with a single.
Yeah, there's plenty of time to pout after the play. We're going to take a look at our Lexus defensive rankings. And again, you're going to see a numerical sign underneath ranking. That is statistical data. And then the light you're seeing on the right, there's going to be red, yellow, and green. And that's my opinion. Billy Hamilton does a good job of getting to the baseball quickly. It might shut down some of the runners. I think they're going to test Tyler Holt and Adam Duvall in the corners as far as the speed, especially with a guy like Jake Marisnick out there who runs pretty well.
Marisnick was taking some liberties with his lead at second earlier, so Barnhart came up out of the chute and cocked his arm. 2-1. Third baseman Suarez is close to the base. Deep to right field. Marisnick is tagging. Here's Holt on the track with the catch. Marisnick will make it to third base on a long out, number 1.
Consistently amazed with how George Springer can take a full swing and miss, still hit it that far. There's a beautiful family right there.
Thank you. We do miss them. They're up in Minnesota today. Thank you, Julia, for collecting those photos. And how about this photo?
Oh, that brings back some great memories. That's right around 2008. Family Day here as an Astro. Oh, man.
I can't handle the cuteness.
I know, it's adorable. They are adorable. Oh, man, I miss them. Oh, I miss those days, too. Now the triplets are 11. My oldest is 12. And, oh, boy.
Infield in for Marwin Gonzalez now. He rolled out to the pitcher earlier. Ball 1 in the dirt. Nope, it's strike 1 in the dirt on the ruling by Bill Welke that he went around.
Pretty good call. A little overcommitted by Marwin, getting a little greedy with the runner at third base. I'm all right with that. He's been swinging the bat well of late.
George Springer's not having any luck in that right field corner. He could have won the game had there not been a very good catch made on him by Jay Bruce yesterday in the right field corner, and now this one by Holt a moment ago. A couple of near misses for George for extra bases. A 3-0 lead would look really good to Mike Fiers right now if Marwin can come through. Altuve on deck. Two balls and a strike. Tim Lincecum gave the Angels a shot in the arm by pitching well yesterday in his Angels debut. Tomorrow night it's Doug Fister and Jolie Chassin at 7:10. Tuesday night at 7:10, Colin McHugh opposes Hector Santiago. Wednesday it's a 1:10 start. Lance McCullers and Matt Shoemaker do the pitching in the finale of the homestand. Then on to Kansas City and Anaheim on the next trip. Brandon Phillips with a diving stop will save a run. Hard hit ball, but it's all for naught. Out number 2 thanks to Phillips with a diving grab.
Well, that stinks. Great play by Brandon Phillips. So I thought that was a great at bat by Marlon Gonzalez. Hitting a hot smash, trying to go the other way. Even though he has nothing to show for it, that was a great AB.
Phillips has 4 Gold Gloves. Now the infielders drop back with Jose Altuve batting. He bounced out to short earlier. This one escapes the catcher, and that'll cost the Reds a run. No, it hit him. It hit Altuve.
Yeah, you almost wish it did just get past. It didn't hit Jose Altuve because it would have led to that run, Brownie.
Sure would have. Instead, Altuve takes his base. Marisnick goes back to third.
Slider down and in. Yeah, catches the top of that front foot and skips through the 5-hole. Just barely. Still not a bad situation. 2 runners on, and Carlos Correa coming up.
That's the 6th time Altuve's been hit by a pitch. He leads the club in that department. Correa drew a walk in the 2nd. That's strike 1. Finnegan was really eyeing the runner at first, Altuve, before delivering that pitch.
I think that's a technique that isn't used often enough. Is even with the pickoffs, varying your times to home plate can really throw a base runner off. When I say varying your times, you come set, you can go quick to home plate, or you can do what Finnegan you saw in that first pitch. Come set, hold for a little bit longer than normal. Maybe get those heels on the ground of the runner so they won't take off.
Now looking at the runner can freeze him. But then some pitchers, when they look at the runner, never throw over to first base. They only throw when they don't look at it.
Yep. There's all kinds of things to key on.
That's pretty tricky. You guys study the game, make a scientific study of that. Hey, so-and-so, this left-hander will not throw over when he looks at you, and that's a big key.
No, it is, and those are all the scouting reports too. The best I had was Davey Lopes at first base. I was in San Diego with him at first base, and it was crazy because he would literally come over to me and look at me and goes, "Steal now." And he would say, "Go this pitch," because he's picked up on something. Or he'd come over and go, "Watch the back right knee. The back right knee breaks, go." He was amazing at picking that stuff up.
A shot on the ground. Cozart gets it to second to Phillips for the forced play on Altuve. No runs, a hit, 2 men stranded after 3, 2-0 Houston.
Astros are leading 2-0 over the Cincinnati Reds here in the top of the fourth. Time now for our Geico quote of the day. Bob Uecker. I signed with the Milwaukee Braves for $3,000. That bothered my dad at the time because he didn't have that kind of dough to pay out. But eventually he scraped it up.
It's a reverse bonus.
Only the Uke.
Only Uke.
Oh, man.
Brandon Phillips swings at the fastball, fouls it for strike one. He popped a third in the first inning. Mike Fiers has a 2-0 lead. In Mike's career, he has started 6 times against the Reds and pitched 8 times against them with a 2-4 record, a 3.13 ERA. He's walked 9 and he struck out 30 in those games from his Milwaukee years. Fouled away. And he can really move that fastball around, as you've seen. He can elevate it a little bit more, as he did that time, and change the eye level on the hitter.
Yeah, that goes a long way.
And he has that slow curve going. He can really be terrific. And the fastball, but you know, you could say that about a lot of pitchers if they have all their pitches working, right?
Yeah, and I think if you talk to most pitchers, they talk about that fastball location, because if they're able to get ahead early in counts, it means that they're in control of those ABs and they can move that fastball around, up, down, in, out. But again, when you can elevate, you can get to pitches like that breaking ball. Because that's what, in order to fool a hitter, you talk about changing speeds is a big issue, creating a movement on your pitch, but also they talk about changing eye level that you talked about, Brownie. You know, you look up in the zone and then it's tough to recognize down. Anything to make those hitters uncomfortable or maybe deceive them.
Correa. 1 out. Jay Bruce will bat. He hit a fly ball to center.
And I think what's made that high strike more effective for the Houston Astros is that the strike zone's changed. Umpires are now calling that above the belt pitch a little more often.
Would you, as a hitter, rather see it be a little bit higher strike zone if the umpire makes the ball be over the plate?
I think it's easier to cover up and down as opposed to in and out. Because I remember, you know, when I first got called up in the late 90s, I remember facing those Atlanta Brave teams that would come in, and it wasn't necessarily the high pitch I had to worry about, but I had to cover a plate that felt like it was about 25 inches wide.
Right.
It's not easy to do.
Bruce fouls it away. It's 0-2 to Jay. Quite a season. That 132 figure, weighted runs created plus, is a very good one for Jay Bruce. What that attempts to do is take the ballpark factor out of his offense and compare him to all other players. Well above average.
I think that's what's going to make him appealing to some other contending teams.
Well, he would be a very good bargaining chip for a trade. If the Reds want to get younger. Fly ball out to left center. Gomez. 2 outs. We go to Julia Morales.
Thanks, Brownie. Get your running shoes on and join us for the Badges and Bases 5K and 10K run at Minute Maid Park Saturday, September 17th. Kids 12 and under can enter the Kids Fun Run, and all participants will receive a commemorative T-shirt. For more information, visit astros.com/run.
Julia.
That's just a warm-up for Julia.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's small change for you. You marathoner, you.
I'm a little bummed that we're out of town.
Yeah.
I wanted to run with everybody.
Well, maybe we'll fly you back in for that.
Okay, I think we're in Seattle.
Okay.
It won't be easy, but.
You won't want to give up those coffee shops. Strike one to Adam Duvall. But congratulations, Julia, for being so good about volunteering to work for Bart Ennis today so he could have Father's Day off.
Absolutely.
Very nice gesture for you.
Yes, it is.
I'm sure he's watching every pitch today. So we wish him a happy Father's Day.
Well, he might be. Or he might be TiVoing the game.
Oh, he's got his feet up. He's watching the game.
Say, yeah.
The kids are bringing him maybe a beverage or two.
We better be treating him right.
Yes.
He was nice enough to help me out this weekend. So.
Yeah, and you got out of the cold shower on the field yesterday with a walk-off.
I know. Darn.
2-0. Did you happen to see his particular move to get out of the way of that?
It was very athletic. I can't wait to see him. I wonder if he's sore today.
But he couldn't pull that off in high heels, though, Julia.
That's right. That's where the talent is. You know, that's where the real talent shows.
Not everybody can do that. 3-1 now to Duvall. And this guy has been excellent at sitting on a pitch and driving it this year. He's walked only 9 times. He's probably swinging here.
Good chance.
Gets underneath it. Springer in right. It's a good day for Mark Fiers. And he leads it 2-0.
Day at an Astros game. The Astros leading 2-0. Academy Sports and Outdoors and the Houston Astros are hitting home runs for Houston. Most home runs by an Astro since May 17th. Evan Gattis leading the way with 9 bombs. It's good to see Luis Valbuena getting in on the action with those 5. Carlos Gomez even making an appearance with 3 home runs since then.
2-0 Astros. Here is Gomez. Fouling it for strike 1. He bounced into a double play back in the 2nd inning. Gomez, though, has been rounding into form, as you point out. Controlling his swing more. Getting nice results. Third baseman Suarez is aware of a bunt possibility. He's in. Grounder goes by him. Backhanded. Cozart, long throw from the hole, and out is the call. 1 down.
Good play. I was curious to see if Joey Votto was going to be able to keep that foot on the base with Carlos Gomez speeding down there. With that third baseman drawn in for the possible bunt, he gets it past him, but Cozart, Johnny on the spot, makes a pretty good play on it. Check out that back heel from Votto. Hey, I see a little daylight there.
Might be some. The Astros are not challenging, though. That's out number 1 on the close call. Danny Worth is the batter. He fouls it for strike 1. Worth started the scoring rally with a single to left center on the ground. He came around on a Gattis double in the 2nd inning, and Gattis scored on a Valbuena hit. 2 runs on 4 hits for Houston. No runs on 2 hits for Cincinnati. No balls, 2 strikes. A lot of fans who have been following this club for a long time love this kind of an interleague series just because of the history between the two teams. They've played each other so much. There have been so many important and interesting and memorable games between the two.
I completely agree on that. You know what I miss most about it?
What's that?
Travel.
You bet. That's just off the plate, 1-2. Yeah, that was nice when the Astros were in the National League Central for travel purposes. They could go to Cincinnati, Chicago, and Pittsburgh on a trip, we'll say, or St. Louis could be in there. All those cities close together. Bouncer to short, backhanded Cozart. 2 outs. And 9 of the 11 outs have been on the ground for Finnegan.
This has got to be eerily reminiscent, having the American League West come into play for fans who watched the Astros when they were in the National League West.
That's right. Special day out there. We hope that everybody's enjoying this Father's Day weekend. Evan Gattis has an RBI double to right center, and there's ball 1. Well, the crowds have been tremendous here this weekend.
Yeah, that's made it a lot of fun too.
Friday night 37,560. Saturday night afternoon 39,111. Ripped on a line into the seats. Watch out in Keuchel's corner.
Yeah, that's going to be a quick souvenir.
Well, the folks in Keuchel's corner yesterday saw a very nice effort from Dallas.
Yeah, they saw a true Dallas Keuchel. Of course, he loves pitching here at Minute Maid Park, but it was good to see him in command of that ball game yesterday.
Strike 2, 1-2. A.J. Hinch said after the game he had decided that it was better to take Dallas out an inning early. That one came back over the plate rather than leave him out there a little bit too long, and the Astros had to regroup and win after they lost the 4-2 lead. Gattis is down with a strikeout. That ends the 4th inning with a score 2-0 Astros. Root Sports is presented by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by Jack in the Box. It's back. The Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack. Taste it before it's gone at Jack in the Box. Here on Root Sports, it's 2-0. The Astros lead it behind Mike Fiers. And a couple of runs in the 2nd inning. One on a double by Gattis. One on a single by Valbuena. Father's Day. Dad's enjoying the ride. And Mike Fiers has done a workmanlike job on the Reds. Curveball is in for strike 1 on Suarez. He grounded out earlier. Picnic in the park after the game for a charity cause. Breaking ball hit Suarez. And he leads off by being hit by the pitch here in the 5th inning. That's the 5th of the year for Fiers.
you're going to get hit, it's where you want to get hit.
Yes, it is.
And that's the pitch you want to get hit by, too. Something flipped in there around 70 miles an hour.
Freddie Benavides is the first base coach, a former Reds player. He's from Texas, I believe. Billy Hamilton struck out. Fastball ties him up and he fouls it out of play for Valbuena. Strike one. The Reds have played better in June, even though their overall record 27-42 doesn't excite the denizens of Cincinnati a whole lot. They are 10-7 in June and their ERA is 3.95. And obviously getting younger along the way. It'll be interesting to see if they part with any of their older players as we get closer to the trade deadline. Hamilton lines one left field line. That is a foul ball. Marisnick got over there, but that ball looked like it could have been trouble. Instead, it's an 0-2 count.
Yeah, I agree with you because there's not much space to work with in foul territory over there, but slicing off the left-handed bat of Billy Hamilton, and there you go. Good call. Third base umpire Vic Carapazza right on it.
And so was Marisnick too.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to get to too. Knowing that he's playing at Minute Maid Park, can't give the umpires the credit. You got to play, not a whistle in this league, but you got to play till you hear the whistle.
Look where he's positioned on Hamilton.
Yeah, it's an interesting setup out there. He is shallow and close to that line with Billy Hamilton hitting left-handed.
Well, we saw this with Billy Burns of Oakland too, a switch hitter who pings the ball to left field. Gomez is well over in left center. And he struck him out.
Let's take a look at the Lowe's home field advantage. Fewest home runs allowed at home this season in the American League. And this number astonishes me, especially some of the numbers we saw last year, but doing it again this year. The Houston Astros pitching, holding opponents 28 home runs here in a hitter-friendly ballpark. Nice to see.
That is a surprising stat, probably, to some people.
Yeah, you expect to see Kansas City and Detroit on that list because they play at graveyards.
True. Tucker Barnhart, who's 1 for 19 on this road trip, struck out looking in the third. The Reds are missing their catcher Devin Mesoraco. He missed a lot of last year and he's missing this year as well. They're also without Homer Bailey now. He's been on a throwing program in Arizona, trying to work his way back into the major league rotation. Throw goes to first from Fiers. The Astros ERA at home is 3.22. Fiers not a real double play specialist. He's gotten 5 ground ball outs in this game. He can be a fly ball pitcher though. But he has some pitches that can produce grounders. There's a strike.
Yeah, that changeup would be a good one, but I agree with you on the fastball that he has. Doesn't have much sinking movement to it. The benefit of the call there, but you know, guys that usually throw that 4-seam fastball do give up a lot of fly balls.
Upstairs, Gaddis had to check his mitt to make sure the ball was in it. 1-1. White Sox and Indians are tied 2-2. They're in the top of the 8th in Cleveland. The Indians have picked up the pace. They're in first place in the AL Central. They really tattooed James Shields yesterday. White Sox might be a little bit nervous about that trade they made for Shields.
Yeah, I agree, because there have been a handful of teams that have been beating up on James Shields. But if he can round into form, Be a nice pickup.
He could be a difference maker. Pitch out, and it's 2-1. Braves lead at New York 5-0. Marlins are on top of the Rockies 3-0 in the top of the 7th. It's 3-1 now. Fiers has really had a low walk rate. He's walked 13 this year in 77 innings. And in recent starts, it's even lower than that. He's walked 2 batters or less in 13 starts in a row, dating back to his final start last year. Runner starts and stops. There's a ground ball hit behind him, and that means he can't get to third, as it's picked up by Springer in right field on the hit by Barnhart.
You see some bizarre things watching baseball on a daily basis, but I haven't seen a guy running back to the bag he started from on a base hit before.
There it is.
That's amazing to me. Oh, wait.
Oh, it's that direction.
Yeah, that's how this game's played.
Okay. Second base is over there.
And Brian Price, bless him for coaching this team. It's got to be a long season already. I mean, I understand breaking, but why would I'm sorry.
Usually you break toward the next base, correct?
Yeah, break towards it, and even if you're not stealing, you kind of shut it down and watch the play, not immediately run back to the bag. My goodness.
Tyler Holt hit a line drive to right field first time up. Runner going to third. Here's the throw from Gattis. Whoa! He ran into an out. He's all confused.
That was not a very good sequence of events on the base pass for Suarez.
Get this man off the bases.
Well, he did that on his own. Didn't really get a good running lead. It almost looked as if it might have been a hit and run, but obviously only one guy on this ballpark may have missed that sign. Because that's not close.
That is not close at all. An easy throw out for Gattis. He's gunned down 6 of 12. Well, that's a gift.
No, I agree with you, Brownie. And when you're not going good as a ball club, the last thing you want to do is give away outs, and that is an out that is given away. Man, those are tough.
Maybe because he failed to get from first to third on that hit, he decided to try to get over there anyway on a steal. You're right about what a Brian Price might be thinking, though. My gosh. Here we are in a 2-0 ball game. We have a promising inning here in the 5th inning. We run ourselves into out number 2.
That's not how it's drawn up. When you get these young teams, you're trying to teach them at the highest level imaginable. Maybe some of these guys have been rushed to the big leagues, but you got to play the whole game. Suarez has good pop. But once you get on the base paths, you're still in action.
Strike 3 call, and that does it in the Reds' 5th. To the chagrin of Tyler Holt. No runs, a hit, and a man left. 2-0. Astros love the Sox.
bottom of the 5th. The Coca-Cola Value Nights package is one of the best ballpark bargains. Available for select Monday to Thursday regular season games, this offer scores you a ticket, hot dog, soda, and popcorn, all for just $18. To purchase tickets, visit astros.com/CokeValue or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. Ronnie?
Thanks, Julia. Coke Value Nights. Fans watching from the rail out there in left center field. That's a popular place here at Minute Maid Park. 2-0 Astros. Valbuena leads it off in the home 5th inning. He had the RBI single in the 2nd to center field. He rips this one high to right. Valbuena has made it 3-0. Number 8 for Valbuena.
Yikes. That ball was punished.
He becomes the first left-handed hitter to go deep off Finnegan this season.
We've seen Valbuena have some good ABs off left-handed pitching. Did a good job on that road trip. Got to knock off Martin Perez in Texas, but here off Finnegan. My goodness, you guessed early and you ambush. He guessed right, got himself a heater middle in and pummeled it.
Jake Marisnick looks at ball 1. That's Valbuena's 2nd long ball off a lefty this year.
I think he hit one in Tampa Bay off Dana Evelyn.
Yeah, that sounds right. Check back on that. Marisnick looks at it. It's 2-0.
That one may have rattled Finnegan. Next 2 pitches out of the zone.
Well, that's a good trend then that Valbuena has delivered a couple of times in recent games against lefties. Yeah, you're right. That was Saturday, June 11th. Good memory.
How about that?
Well, he just belted a 395-footer to make it a 3-run lead. Astros have hit 85 homers this year. You talked about how stingy their pitchers have been in allowing homers. And they have a pretty good lead over their opposition in home runs. 85-74. There's a walk to Marisnick. It's Jake's 6th of the year. It's a 2nd walk for Finnegan.
Yeah, I just wanted to be quiet through contact because the connection Valbuena made with that baseball was loud.
A win today would get the Astros to 2 games under 500 at 34-36. George Springer's 0 for 2. Springer's walk-off hit yesterday was his 2nd of the year.
Time for our forward spray chart. George Springer this season, where those hits are going. Up the middle and pull side, but I like the idea of him going up the middle, especially at that leadoff spot, doing a good job. Talked about cutting down on that swing. George Springer has enough pop. Even his cut down swing is going to launch some.
That's an excellent point. The way Votto threw that ball back to Finnegan, I don't know if he wants any more throws over to first base anytime soon.
Real quick return to sender, huh?
Well, you know yourself, and Votto has a hefty contract, and he's a good player, not having his best year certainly, but it's difficult for a veteran, an established star player like Votto to go through a season like this.
Yes. Yeah, when you sign that big contract for long term, this is not exactly what you're expecting to sign up for. But again, the commitment is made by both player and team as far as money and length of time. So these things are going to happen in Major League Baseball.
Well, it's up to the player and his representatives to assess the future of that organization before they decide to commit for multi-years.
Yeah, but you've also got a couple of million reasons not to complain.
A shot on the ground. Cozart from his knees tosses to Phillips. Phillips with a wide throw at first cannot complete the double play. Springer's able to beat the relay.
Ball smoked.
It was hit very hard.
Kind of ate Zach Cozart up. See him kind of fumbling around and gets that late flip. And I think with that late flip and the combination of Marisnick running, put a little panic in the heart of Brandon Phillips on that turn, knowing that he got a guy about 6'5" coming in at you. See, it altered the throw. Just glad to see Springer, too, avoiding injury on that high throw, getting out of the way of the tag from Votto, because that's how Correa sprained that ankle in Texas, was trying to avoid one of those throws.
Marwin Gonzalez is 0 for 2. Brandon Phillips made a very good play to get him in the third. Throw over to first. Back to that attempted double play. The ball was smoked. It was hit very hard at Cozart. He dropped it. That disrupts all the timing of the turn for the second baseman, right?
Yep. No, it really does. That's an excellent point, too. He said realizing how hard that ball's hit, that internal clock and that rhythm of the play is absolutely thrown off.
As ripped foul right over Gary Pettis' head. So if you're Phillips, you're trying to go across the bag and catch that on the move. Now you have to stop. You lose all that momentum, and it's all arm on the throw, correct?
Yeah. And you saw that with him coming across the bag. And at the same time, Marisnick is a big guy who can run. And that subtle delay in that feed from Cozart sets off alarms in that second baseman's head also.
Fake throw to first by Finnegan. He had stepped off. Here's a look at it.
See Phillips, he feels like he's hanging on the bag too long there, and he feels the base runner on. That's why he didn't stand there, set his feet, and make a stronger, more accurate throw, because he felt Jake Marisnick on him.
Runner going, and the pitch eludes Barnhart. It's an easy stolen base for Springer. Number 5 of the year for George.
Talk about pitch selection a lot at home plate, but how about the pitch selection for George Springer going first move? But he picked a great pitch to run on. Looked like a slider from Finnegan. I like it. I love the fact that George was off to the races. We need to see more of that from him.
Try to press the action a little bit with the 3-0 lead. Make the pitcher more uncomfortable. The Astros 1 for 4 with runners in scoring position. They've been awful this weekend. 2 for 21 in the first 2 games. And for a strike, 1 and 2. And part of a series like this is the expectation that the Astros need to win this series from a team like the Reds.
Yeah, they had a rough April, maybe halfway through May. Now they're finally getting to play some teams that are sub 500, and I agree with you, Brownie. These are real opportunities for the Astros to try and get back into this race, beating up on these teams.
2 and 2. The Reds will be going on to Texas next. They'll have an off day tomorrow. A.J. Hinch's club playing the Angels here, and then it's a 2-game series for the Reds in Arlington against the hot Rangers. Rangers are tied with St. Louis right now, 2-2 in the 5th. That one almost hit him. It decked him. And now Springer gets to third base on the down and in pitch to Marwin Gonzalez. Wild pitch.
That might be the truest definition of a wild pitch. That one yanked.
Yeah.
Man, everybody getting out of the way of that one.
Now that brings the infield in. So the stolen base by Springer now has created some action here in this inning. Now that he reaches third with 1 out, Brian Price's infielders are in close with a 3-2 count on Marwin. Altuve on deck. Ball 4 on a close one. Third walk for Finnegan. Going back to that key you provided at the beginning of the game, Finnegan's control issues do flare up on him here in the 5th.
Yeah, that's that pitch count too. 72 now. I was kind of surprised, probably just like you were, to see them not throw a pitch for Marwin to try and go after, knowing that Altuve's up after him.
Altuve's grounded out. He's been hit by a pitch. He's the guy many people would choose to have at the plate in this situation for the Astros. Ball 1 to Altuve, a .333 hitter with men in scoring position. About that WRC plus figure of 158 for Jose. He's the pace setter among all-star second base candidates in the American League. 1-1, and he has the numbers to back it up.
Yeah, he truly is one of those sabermetric superstars. Even more so this year with the walks piling up for him too.
He began the day the league leader in on-base average at .422. That'll go foul. 1-2. Giants and the Rays are tied 1-1 in the bottom of the 7th inning in St. Petersburg. The Orioles lead the Blue Jays 8-4 in the 5th. The Reds had right-hander J.C. Ramirez warming up. Springer all dirty at third. Marwin Gonzalez at first. Breaking pitch taken for ball 2 by Altuve. Mariners and Red Sox are tied 1-1. They're in the bottom of the 6th at Boston. The Astros have a chance to break this one open if the right things happen here. Altuve sends one high into right center field. Hamilton racing. Hamilton laying out. What a tremendous catch. It'll be a sac fly, or now throw back to first. That is a double play. So it will not be a sac fly because Gonzalez is doubled off first on the deep drive by Altuve. And once again, Billy Hamilton steals the day.
Guys kind of don't. They like the game, like playing, but he taught me, how to enjoy it while you have it, because like him, I mean, he was in at 21 and out by 29. So enjoy every day you have.
Lance McCullers Jr. on Father's Day. That run did count. It was a sacrifice fly for Altuve because Springer scored ahead of the throw to first to double off Marwin Gonzalez.
Thank goodness. And again, this is why you hustle through the game.
That's the timing play of it.
Tell you what, the Astros, a couple of these hitters on the Astros team may have a police escort for Billy Hamilton to get out of this city.
Oh boy.
He has made some incredible plays tracking some fly balls down out there.
Ball one for Mike Fiers. Now it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Yeah, by all rights, Billy Hamilton should be checking into the criminal justice building downtown here after the thievery he has committed this weekend. One ball and 2 strikes. Isn't he amazing with his tremendous range?
Yeah, and it's literally, I've given up on a couple of those. Yet he is out there chasing him down.
Kozar doubled in the 3rd inning. He's 1 for 2. Curveball gets away from Fiers. 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's difficult for base runners. Marwin Gonzalez was all the way around second base when Hamilton made that catch. Difficult to know what Hamilton's range factor is. He's just such a blur out there. He gets to balls that other people can't reach. And that becomes a real dilemma for a guy on base.
Yeah, but in the reality of it in spring training, when you're practicing those situations and you're being taught the fundamentals of the game with 1 out, you go as far as you think you can go. And if the catch is made, you got to be able to get back. So Marwin, as well as that ball was hit off of Jose Altuve's bat, and as much as I wanted it to be a hit, you got to play the game fundamentally right. There's no reason for him to make that turn and have a guy lay out and be thrown out at first base. You'd like to see him get to second base, read the play, and get back to first base. This is a look at it. Great shot from behind. Altuve smashes up, but watch Marwin, the runner at first base. There's no reason to be turning second base until you see that ball hit the ground. Because as you see, he was thrown out on this incredible play by Billy Hamilton, just keeping his eye on the ball. Again, no regard for the body whatsoever. And again, the wherewithal to pop up, make a strong throw, create that double play. Pretty impressive stuff.
Strike to Joey Votto after the leadoff walk to Kozar. Votto's 1 for 2. Hamilton is just something to behold.
Yeah, I get asked a lot, you know, the best center fielder I ever played with, and I constantly say Mike Cameron, and it was similar to situations like that where I'd be playing third base, especially when we were on San Diego's team together out at Petco Park. Ball would be hit. I'd put my head down, go to third base, and look up for the relay throw, and he's got it in his glove. I mean, those are fun guys to watch.
1-1. Ken Griffey Jr. certainly was one of the outstanding center fielders of all time.
Tell you what, Andrew Jones.
Yeah,
man, you would alter your swing just to not hit it to center field.
Right. He played so shallow.
Oh.
If you want to dial back the clock a couple more decades, Paul Blair was fantastic. Votto walks away from home plate.
It seems like, you know, as well as these guys being athletically talented, there's that almost a sixth sense to some of these guys in the outfield that allow them to get those great first steps or those good jumps, and then to have that closing speed with it.
Reds had Eric Davis back in the day.
Good one.
Ripped on the ground off Marwin, and that will be out at first. Good recovery. Boy, it looked like Votto would be able to beat that out, but we'll have to run a clock on him from home to first on that one.
That might have been the slowest developing play ever. Ball was hit relatively well, but again, that in-between hop eats up Marwin. He gives up on it, decides to get back to it. And how about Fiers staying with the play? Seeing some good execution on guys not giving up on plays. Great job by Fiers. You almost saw him screaming at Marwin to go, saying, "Go get it."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a little pause there, a beat before Marwin went after the ball. He may not have known exactly where it was, but Fiers pulled off the play as he stretched toward that throw to get the call. So Votto's out on a 3-1 play. Brandon Phillips 0 for 2. Love to know Votto's time from home to first on that one.
Yeah, get out the sundial.
And granted, you might think that first baseman's going to make the play, so you're not busting it out of the box. Ball 1.
Oh, he was running.
He was. Sure enough. Phillips takes ball 2. The Reds are 3-9 against American League teams. Since 2014, they're 4-20 in interleague play. Cozart with the lead. Phillips has hit .326 with men in scoring position. It's 3-0. Doug Fister goes tomorrow night. He is the hot hand in this Houston rotation with a 6-game winning streak. He'll try to equal the longest of his career. He had a 7-game streak in 2011. Astros have won his last 9 starts, and his ERA is 2.35 in those games.
Houston Methodist brings us our league leaders. Since we're playing an interleague matchup here, we're going to look at the best records since last season. Houston Astros. Remember how to play in that against some of these National League teams. That 23-8 record, pretty nice. How about the American League teams enjoying the interleague action?
Yeah. So you have to keep pace if you want to be a wild card contestant or win your division, right? .3-0 to Phillips. In for a strike with the off-speed offering. .13th start of the year for Mike Fiers. It's his 22nd start with the Astros. He's won 6, lost 4 with a 3.83 ERA in Houston. A lot of no decisions for Mike, despite good work. Fouled away. Chris Davinsky's warming up now for Houston. Will Harris was told he would not pitch yesterday, and he did not pitch. Dallas Keuchel went 7 innings. Luke Gregerson had an awesome 8th inning, striking out the side. Ken Giles gave up 2 runs in his inning. In the 9th, got a blown save on the homer by Duvall, and Scott Feldman was the winner. He went 2 scoreless as the other guys in the bullpen got a rest. Wow, that is really some good finesse by Mike Fiers for out number 2.
Yeah, gutsy pitch too. Crawford boxes out there in left field. Brandon Phillips has some pop, but did a great job of pulling the string on that changeup in a fastball count. Good execution.
Really nice slow-mo of his motion. That long arm delivery, and then the ball floats up there. Now he wants Gaddis to come out with Jay Bruce, the batter. Bruce is 0 for 2, 2 fly balls to center field. Fiers went 7 innings when he beat Tampa Bay last Saturday, giving up 2 runs. Ball 1 to Bruce. So he's working on an extra few days rest. This is the 8th day since his last start. The Astros had a couple of off days last week. That could throw some starting pitchers out of whack sometimes. On other occasions, it's really a nice time of the year to get a few extra days of rest. 2-0. Brent Strom watches all those things. Pretty close pitch. It's ball 3 to Bruce.
There's a couple on the edges. Fiers isn't getting the call. See that first pitch, pretty good. Went a little more down and in and off the plate. Right-handed hitting Adam Duvall on deck.
Strike makes it 3-1.
But for me, Duvall's power threat, I'm not sure I'd want to have too many guys on base just in case you do make a mistake.
Sure. Yeah, you need to challenge Bruce.
Yeah.
And he was behind 3-0 on his second straight batter. And gets a chop foul ball, 3-2. Well, the Astros evidently sensed a need to get Davinsky warming up in the bullpen. Leadoff walk in the inning might have been that indicator to Cozart.
Next pitch will be 90. Fiers has gone over 100 pitches only 3 times this year, topped out at 104.
It knocks Fiers off balance. He throws to first, safe at first. Oh, that ball hit him. Lost his glove. He's limping around. That was a bullet right off his leg, it appeared, or maybe his hip. Seems to be all right. Jeremiah Randall's coming out along with A.J. Hinch.
He seems to be moving around okay, but I agree. You got to go out and check on the guy. First you get smoked, drop your glove, turns into an instant yard sale. Did a great job of getting to the baseball, making that play close at first, and almost got him. Just a matter of where it got him. This would be a good look from behind home plate. Got on him quick. Inside of that left knee.
Ooh.
That's where you worry a little bit. This will give you a great idea. Just hope that caught more meat than joint.
Yeah. He did not have his weight on that leg at the time. Boy, he made a recovery you talked about, but he's coming out of the game. Davinsky had been warming up anyway. And Bruce ripped a bullet off Fiers' leg. So he will leave now and get some treatment right away. They'll get some ice on it. Take a look at him. Nice round of applause for Mike Fiers, who leaves with the Astros up 4-0.
LLC and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Houston Astros, LLC.
Well, now with this pitching change, it's 4-0. Mike Fiers out of the game. Apparently all right. He's not going in for treatment now. But that line drive drilled off his leg has caused the pitching change. So we get you caught up. 2 outs, runners at first and third. Chris Davinsky comes in. He has not pitched since the series at Texas 10 days ago, Blummer.
And did a good job 10 days ago. He went 3 innings, giving up 1 hit, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts through 42 pitches in that appearance. He's done a great job after getting back in that bullpen. Still working that strong fastball changeup mix.
Adam Duvall looks at ball 1. Duvall is grounded out and flied to right. Runners at first and third after the hard hit single by Jay Bruce. Ozarks at third base. The Reds now have 4 hits. In the air, and Duvall watches it drift back toward the seats. Out of play for Valbuena. 1-1. So the powerful Duvall is the leader in extra base hits in the National League with 37. It's been an eye-popping year for this youngster.
Well, that's one of the beauties, I guess, if you're going to be on that Cincinnati side. If you're not going to be running a team out there that's going to be hyper competitive, at least you're giving some kids an opportunity, and Duvall's taking advantage of it.
Sure has. 1-2 to Duvall, who's drafted by the Giants in 2011.
Depth on that changeup.
Yes. The 11th round in 2010, rather, is when he was drafted. Traded in the Mike Leake deal. So the Reds parted with both Leake and Cueto last year. That signaled their rebuilding. 2-2. Duvall got 64 at-bats with the Reds last year, hitting 5 homers. He had broken in with the Giants in 2014, had just 73 at-bats with them then. He is from Reds country, Louisville, and went to the University of Louisville. Out to left field, Marisnick will handle it for out number 3. No runs, a hit, 2 men stranded. 4-0 Houston in the 6th.
Astros lead the Reds. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Whether you are treating employees, hosting clients, or bringing out your church or youth sports team to Minute Maid Park, Astros group tickets will create an experience your group is sure to remember. Visit astros.com/groups or call 1-877-9-ASTROS to enjoy special pricing and great benefits by reserving your group today. Friday.
Thanks, Julia. Quite a day here. Now, J.C. Ramirez comes in for the Reds. 1-2 with a 6.28 ERA, and he's been torched the last 6 games to the tune of a 10.57 earned run average for Ramirez.
Pitched here in the Astros series on Friday night, went an inning and 2/3. Gave up 1 hit, no earned runs, walked 1 through 23 pitches. He actually took the win.
Now the Astros leading 4-0, have Carlos Correa batting. He's 0 for 1 with a walk in this game. Gomez and Worth to follow. That's strike 1. Mike Fiers went 5 2/3 innings. He allowed 4 hits and no runs, walking 1, fanning 5, hitting a batter. 290 pitches, 53 of them were strikes. 0-2 to Correa. Brandon Finnegan in 5 innings allowed 5 hits, 4 runs, walking 3, fanning 1. Throwing 77 pitches, 40 for strikes. Inside outing it. Correa hits it down the right field line. Nice souvenir for that guy. Correa stays alive at 0-2 for Carlos. Ramirez throws 1 wide. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes for the native of Nicaragua. His original signing team was Seattle back in 05 as a free agent. He was traded to the Phillies in 09. Backhanded Cozart, who throws to get Correa. Julia.
Thanks, Brownie. Happy Father's Day to everyone out there. I found a gentleman here who is celebrating Father's Day, Victor Morales, and Victor/Dad. What does this Father's Day mean to you to spend it with your daughter?
It means everything. This has been a lot of fun being here with my daughter.
We're going to play this off. This is my dad, and it is really nice to have you and Mom here. Mom got the interview on Mother's Day, so we thought it'd only be fair to have Dad here. But thanks for driving down. And you are enjoying yourself, right?
Well, every time I come to Houston, it's fantastic. I mean, after all, this is your hometown. And the way everybody says hi and watching Brownie with his 30 years, great time. Great time.
We are having a great. You know, I am from Houston, so we have to point that out there. I grew up in Crandall, Texas, but these wonderful parents right here, they had me and my brother right here in Houston, so I am homegrown, guys, and they're happy to be back in Houston visiting me.
We didn't realize that. Here's Joey Votto coming over for a foul pop. Well, that puts a different spin on things now that we know you're a Houstonian.
Right,
Julia.
yeah. I mean, it's really nice. I mean, of course they're here to see me, but it is nice for them to come back and kind of relive some old memories of where they used to work, and Dad used to teach school around here. Where did you used to teach?
Humboldt. I taught at Humboldt Middle School.
Yeah, we're basically from here, guys. It's really fun. But it is nice to have Dad here.
Hey, Julia, give them a huge hug and tell them thank you for being so patient with you and raising a wonderful daughter.
I will. I might even make that a little longer and more dramatic than you just did. I'll tell them.
Feel free. Danny Worth is the batter now with 2 outs. He's 1 for 2. Looking at ball 1, down and in. Worth brings that infielder's bat to the equation. He hasn't played a lot of third base, but has done that for the Astros. It's a shortstop by trade. 2 balls, no strikes. The Astros don't figure to give Altuve too many days off at second, but Worth can play there as well as he is today.
Would have been great to hear the conversation between AJ and Altuve, because I know that Altuve really takes pride in going out there.
Yeah, you're right. 3-0. And people wonder, well, the Astros have had 2 days off in the last week. But sometimes 1 day off is not really enough to give a player a rest for his legs. 2 in a row is much better.
Yeah, it is. But it's been an interesting week too with the was it Tuesday, Thursday, or the Monday, Thursday days off.
3-1 now for Worth. And Danny will get a full count offering coming up. Evan Gattis on deck. Swung at a slider and struck out. That's a 1-2-3 6th for Ramirez. 4-0 Houston after 4.
The Astros leading this, and time to announce the winner of our Chevy Stroh poll. On this Father's Day, we asked you who your favorite father-son baseball combo was. There were a lot of options, and then you guys chimed in with a few more of your own, but it's the Griffeys that win, or that would take the cake on this one. Senior and junior. And they have some there's a lot of memorable moments with these two, especially playing together. But how about that 500th home run for Junior? Hitting that on Father's Day, and then the embrace with his dad. Just one of those special moments you never forget, guys.
Oh, yeah. That was quite a moment. 4-0 game. The Astros lead. Davinsky gets a foul ball from Suarez, leading off the top of the 7th inning. He is 0 for 1. Was hit by a pitch. Now that family, of course, with Ken Sr. He was from Donora, Pennsylvania. And then Ken Jr. grew up in Cincinnati when Sr. was playing for the Reds. Had a brother, Craig, also, who played professional baseball, I believe, in the minors. In for a strike, 1-2. That whole Big Red Machine family was growing. Those kids turned out to be quite good major league players. You know, Tony Perez's kid, Eduardo, who was an Astros coach, was a very good player himself. Foul ball. And Pedro Borbon's son was a pitcher, left-handed pitcher in the major leagues. Line to short, caught by Correa. 1 out.
Of course, you got to mention Lance McCullers and his father, who played in the big leagues.
This was some kind of a team. Big Red Machine years, mid-70s, back-to-back World Series titles in 75 and 76. Will McEnany, the closer there. That was the last National League team to win back-to-back World Series. Ball one to Hamilton. 1 ball, 1 strike. Maybe the Cubs will do it. Who knows?
They've definitely stockpiled some talent to do it.
They have, haven't they? 2-0. They're kind of the modern day Big Red Machine, the way they've been blitzing teams this year. They don't just beat them, they annihilate them. 3-1. And for a strike, 3-2. 36,369 on this Father's Day at Minute Maid Park. That's some kind of weekend attendance.
It's a beautiful thing.
Struck him out looking.
That is a hat trick for Billy Hamilton. And it just seems like that changeup is never going to get there. And you can see Billy Hamilton gave up on that pitch, and it just hangs onto the edge.
Tucker Barnhart takes a look at strike one. Barnhart singled in the 5th inning. He's 1 for 2. So well over 100,000 people have seen the 3 games in this series at Minute Maid Park. 1-1. And many will stay for a picnic in the park, a charity event on the field after the game today. Yeah. Oh. Okay. That's a thank you from Henry. Our pleasure, Henry. Barnhart strikes out. And in the middle of the 7th inning, it's 4-0 Houston.
On a lot, and so he was very into our activities in the winter, which was coaching basketball, being at all of my basketball games. I played basketball, you know, that was sort of my favorite sport to play, and then taking us hunting and fishing. Lots of great memories of, you know, going to the ranch, hunting, fishing, taking kids. We always had a group of kids from Alvin that were with us somewhere, and you know, it's fun to see guys that normally maybe wouldn't get that opportunity to go out with us, shoot their first deer, learn how to fish, those kind of things. And so it was a lot of togetherness. It was great.
Reed Ryan, Astros President of Business Operations, giving us a little insight on what it was like growing up to be the son of Hall of Famer Nolan Ryan. Reed, spending a lot of his time in the Astrodome growing up, and of course now in this position working alongside his dad. And we see Nolan around here a lot. A big thanks to those two, though, for sitting down with me and telling us a little bit about what it was like in the Ryan household. You know, it's not just them. There are a lot of grandkids now, too. So Nolan Ryan obviously enjoys being a grandfather as well. And Reed getting to spend some time on this Father's Day with his kids today in his seat, so it's always good to see them. I know they're very, very busy, so that time is very precious, guys.
Yeah, we saw him with his son Jackson there. 7th inning stretch here. Thanks, Julia, for that. 4-0 game. The Astros hope to tuck away a series win here this weekend and keep the ball rolling.
Let's take a look at our Kubota pitching performance. It's going to be Mike Fiers on this Father's Day wearing the powder blue numbers. Did a great job. We got a healthy strike zone to work with, but we also saw some very good fastball location, allowed him to get to those changeups. Good breaking ball we know that he does have. I was impressed with his ability to go to that changeup, and a fearless 3-2 count against Brandon Phillips led to 5 strikeouts for him, but 5 2/3 strong, only 4 hits against him, 0 earned runs.
4-0 lead. Evan Gattis has an RBI double. That made it 1-0 Astros in the 2nd inning. He struck out in the 4th. Strike 1 on the slider from Ramirez. This Reds bullpen has an ERA of 6.04. Well, you wouldn't know it from their work this series. No balls, 2 strikes. They won in the 11th inning Friday night. Their relievers combined for 5 2/3 innings of 1-run baseball. Gattis bashes one to left. It is 5-0 Houston. Number 11 for Evan Gattis. That's 2 of 2 games for him. He hit one in the 7th inning yesterday.
Gattis is getting that swing back. It was a rough road trip for him, but here at Minute Maid Park, he's been doing a good job. Got himself a hanging slider from Ramirez. Just smoked it.
He's been quite a hitter when he's been the catcher. Valbuena with strike 1. Gattis now, he's hit .283, 5 homers, 12 RBIs in his 11 starts at catcher before this game.
No, that's a great call, and I really wonder what the record is with him back there too.
7-4.
Nice. That's working on 8.
Yeah, that's a 429 footer. One and one. Valbuena went deep in the 5th inning after an RBI single in the 2nd. So to update those numbers now in this 12th start at catcher, he has 6 homers and 14 runs batted in the 12 games.
And I believe there was an article that came out after maybe about 4 or 5 games behind home plate. We saw some of the numbers start to bump up a little bit after coming back from Corpus. He actually said he likes catching. Keeps him engaged in the game a little bit more than when he's at DH, because at DH obviously you only get 4 ABs, possibly a game, and in between there some mental turmoil sometimes going on.
Five runs on 6 hits for Houston. The Astros have hit 2 long balls to give them 86 for the year. Off the plate. 3-2. Bueno looks like he's trying to gear himself down a little bit. Broken bat roller out to Phillips. 1 down. Reds have an interesting note about Phillips and Votto and all the games they have played together. They're one of the top duos playing together at first and second base in Major League history. This is the 1033rd game Votto and Phillips have started together at first and second base.
Man, that's pretty impressive.
You know who the all-time leading first and second baseman team is?
Do their last names start with a B?
You got it. Ball one to Jake Marisnick.
Some local residents, maybe?
You got it. Jeff Bagwell and Craig Biggio started 1,506 games together at first and second base. Number 2, Lou Gehrig and Tony Lazzeri of the Yankees.
Tell you what, here very soon it should be a Hall of Fame tandem.
Yes, wouldn't that be something? We fully expect that about a year from now, right?
Oh, yes. Yeah, the more you dig into the numbers, the more you've got to appreciate what Jeff Bagwell brought to the field every day. And I agree, he should be in the Hall of Fame very soon.
2-1. Ryan Howard and Chase Utley are third on the list. They've played together more than 1,100 times. And then there's Mark Grace and Ryan Sandberg. And down the list a little bit, right in front of the Reds duo, Steve Garvey and Davey Lopes of the Dodgers, with more than 1,000 games at first and second together. 3-2. Nap time.
I'm still here.
Behind the dish, Barnhart is back. Apparently, he hit one of the girders. Went out of play. Well, you get to go home and have a late Father's Day celebration.
Yes, I do. I'm looking forward to it.
And when you and Ash and Julia get together in Kansas City, that Royals team is very difficult to beat right now, especially at home.
Yeah, they play a good game at home. Kauffman Stadium for them has been a nice place to be.
Struck him out looking. Second strikeout for Marisnick.
Borderline, I guess. Not going the way of Jake Marisnick.
The Royals are 24-8 at home, Blummer.
Why even go?
George Springer is 0 for 3. He scored a run. Strike one to him. Visiting teams would take that as a challenge, though, right?
Yeah, and you know what? The Astros actually, I think, have played pretty well there. This guy right here, George Springer, had himself a huge series.
That's out number 3. The Gaddis home run has made it 5-0 Houston through 7.
Playing to Win is brought to you by Toyota Tundra. Evan Gattis, he's got the gear on today, and he's swinging some lumber too. Punishing that slider into the left field Crawford boxes.
Strike one as Tyler Holt leads it off in the 8th inning. Holt is 0 for 2, a line drive to right, a strikeout looking. Davinsky gets a tap foul. It's 0-2. Ross Ohlendorf is warming up for Cincinnati. Like Julia, he was born in Houston. Gomez into left center field in front of Marisnik. 1 out.
This Father's Day, join Major League Baseball and the Prostate Cancer Foundation in the fight against prostate cancer by supporting the Home Run Challenge. Log on to MLBcommunity.org or PCF.org to learn more.
Well, you and Alan Ashby welcomed Michael Milken to the booth when you were in Arizona. George Springer hit a big home run that day for a big fundraiser for prostate cancer research. There's ball 1 to Cozart.
Not only is he fighting for a good cause, he's a smart man picking the Astros
That's
for
true.
home run charities.
Yeah. 1-1. Cozart doubled in the 3rd. He walked in the 6th. Davinsky might be able to close this out without any help. Marisnik in left. 2 outs. He's retired 6 in a row since he came in.
They made it look relatively easy too.
Just 26 pitches for Chris. Joey Votto singled in the 1st inning. He's 1 for 3. Boston leads Seattle 2-1. Seattle's batting in the top of the 9th. Big Papi stole a base in that game.
Whoa.
We'll have to look for that one on the highlights. You know it'll be on there.
Yes, it will.
Strike on the changeup.
First pitch changeup.
It's 0-2.
Tell you what, Devo is fearless right now, attacking that strike zone.
Tap foul by Votto. That's what he does. We've seen Votto choke up in this weekend series. He's doing it again here. Line drive left. Marisnik lays out for it. Jake Marisnik makes another dazzling catch. That's now 7 in a row set down by Davinsky and friends. Houston Astros baseball on Root Sports is presented by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by Toyota. Let's go places. The Astros lead at 5-0 over the Reds. We're moving to the bottom of the 8th inning. We have a new pitcher on the mound for Cincinnati. Ross Ohlendorf takes over. He's 5-5 with a 4.11 ERA.
Ross last pitched on Thursday before this series started. He went an inning, didn't give up anything through 13 pitches. He's got a pretty unique windup coming at hitters. A little old school.
Sure is. He's not that old. He's 33, but he's old school, as you say. Pitched for Texas last year. He's really been around several different clubs in the big leagues. Marwin Gonzalez is 0 for 2 with a walk. That big full windup. It's strike one. Ohlendorf came up with the Yankees in 07. He went to Princeton University. He was with the Pirates for 3 years, then San Diego, then Washington. Practice foul. Good swing by Marwin, 0-2.
He gone.
Yeah, he came on the field, so that's why he's going to be escorted out. Fans are not allowed to come on the field. Strikeout, out number 1 here in the home 8th inning. Jose Altuve is next. He got a sacrifice fly in the 5th inning for RBI number 39 of the year. That was one of those timing plays. Billy Hamilton made the great catch to rob him of an extra base hit. Marwin Gonzalez was doubled off first, but the run scored ahead of that play at first base. George Springer scoring to give Altuve the sacrifice fly. Ball 1. Tremendous play by Hamilton.
The second one in this series.
Boy, he has left his mark on Minute Maid in center field. 2-0. Sure what was happening there with Jose. He doesn't usually take that much time between pitches.
I think he had a little something in his eye.
Looked that way. He got jammed here and popped it up. 2-1. Ohlendorf was drafted by Arizona in 04 in the 4th round. Been both a starter and reliever. Off the plate. 3 balls and a strike. Ripped on a line. It's hooking and foul.
That's what you call getting the head out.
Ooh. Vicious cut. Might have been ball 4. Altuve swinging at a high pitch. Still 3-2. He's tough with 2 strikes in the count, though. Whereas some hitters might have swung and missed, he fouls it off. He gets a hit over shortstop. Isn't he amazing? That's his 93rd hit.
Let's take a look inside the box score, brought to you by Jack in the Box. Most extra inning games in a single season since 1969. Man, those Astros in 1990, 27 of them.
Wow.
That might be the pace we're on.
Good grief, it is.
That seems a little excessive.
27?
I'm not sure that's a leaderboard you want to be on.
Carlos Correa is 0 for 2 with a walk. Yeah, we were looking before the game at the Astros walk-off hits this season, and all of them have been in extra inning games. Two and 0. There have been 7 last at bat wins, and they've all been in extra frames.
Need to speed the clock up on that. Get some of those bottom of the 9th wins in there.
Or, you know, statistically, a last at bat win in the bottom of the 8th counts.
Yep.
You wouldn't mind that, right?
I was going to say, or you do what you're doing today. Put up a nice 5 spot, take advantage of your starting pitcher throwing 5 2/3 shutout, have somebody out of the bullpen come out and do a job like Devo's doing right now.
Yes, that works.
Everybody's happy.
That's a walk to Correa on 4 pitches. Altuve to second, Gomez to the plate. Correa now has drawn 2 walks in this game, 36 for the year. Gomez is 0 for 3. Correa last year drew 40 walks. He had 387 at bats. He's close to 40 right now. That's a sign of respect for what he did last year with the 22 homers and 68 runs batted in. Danny Worth is on deck. 4 walks for Reds pitching. And strike 1 to Gomez. That was an unconvincing swing. One and 1. J.C. Ramirez in 2 innings allowed 1 hit, 1 run, had no walks, and struck out 2. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. The Orioles lead the Blue Jays 11-6. They're in the bottom of the 8th in Baltimore. Chris Tillman started it. He didn't pitch as well as he normally has been, giving up 4 runs in 5 innings. Matt Wieters hit his 7th homer. Jonathan Scope his 12th. Tulowitzki hit number 9. Travis number 3 for the Blue Jays. Shot right field corner. Gomez has extra bases. Here's Altuve scoring. It's an RBI double for Gomez. 6-0 Houston, with Correa taking 3rd. That's a 5-game hitting streak for Gomez, who just picked up his 10th double of the year. It's his 13th run batted in, and a very good sign that he hit the ball hard to right field.
That is a good sign. That's what's been making him better of late, too, is being able to go up the middle the other way and letting that ball travel a little bit. He almost looked surprised that he did it. A good piece of hitting. Good situation to do it in, too. Keep adding on those runs. Pad those stats. Give these fans what they want to see.
Gomez gets hit number 8 for the Astros. Mark Riggins out to the mound. We go to Julia Morales.
MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, delivers everything you have come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. It includes a free subscription to @That Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details.
Infield will come in now with Danny Worth, the batter. Runners at second and third and 1 out. There's some stirring in the Reds bullpen. Worth is 1 for 3. Evan Gattis is on deck. That's strike 1. J.J. Hoover's warming up for Cincinnati. Ground ball, and it's gloved by the third sacker. Suarez takes care of out number 2. Now the infielders drop back, and Gattis comes to the plate. He's had quite a day of it. A double, a homer, 2 runs batted in for Gattis. He's catching a shutout. Rip foul, there's strike 1. For what you make of ERA for a catcher, his is 3.03.
Those numbers are pointing in the right direction for Evan Gattis behind the plate. Bat's been good. Defense has been good. Now you just added that ERA. That's been real nice to see.
1 ball, 1 strike. He's thrown out 6 of 12. All this while doing it on the fly because he couldn't work on catching in spring training with the injury coming back from surgery. Popped up. Suarez in from third to take care of out number 3. The Astros settle for 1 run on 2 hits. They strand 2 in scoring position. Through 8, they lead it 6-0. Such a nice day, and especially for Astros fans. Their club leads it 6-0. Only 4 hits for the Reds. A combined shutout through 8 from Mike Fiers and Chris Davinsky. Davinsky will get a save if he gets these final 3 outs. And thanks to Robin Bravo. She's a longtime friend. Phillips, Bruce, and Duvall are coming up in the 9th inning. Hey, strike one. And Devo has just taken this opportunity and run with it, Plummer.
It's so great to see, too. Been a while since he's pitched, but he's going to make a lot of friends, not only in that dugout, but some guys out there in that bullpen by eating up some of these innings after a strong start from Mike Fiers.
0-2. 7 straight retired since Chris came into the game. He threw 3 1/3 hitless innings at Texas in his last outing, June 9th. And he does give up a hit.
Our delivery of the game is delivered to you by Jimmy Johns. Luis Valbuena left on left, getting some action tonight. Got himself a fastball and turned on it. It was a loud, long home run. 2 for 3 on the day. It's good to see Luis Valbuena contributing, playing a strong third base and with that big home run.
Time called as Jay Bruce gets back in the box. The infield shifting around on him. Bruce got a hit off the pitcher Mike Fiers' leg in the 6th inning to extend his hitting streak to 13 games against the Astros. The painful way for Mike. There's strike one. Would be okay on the bench though after he came out of the game. We're not aware of any injury report on Mike Fiers. That's up the chute. Valbuena comes in for it and goes over for it. 1 out. Like a Ray Guy punt. Fair catch for Valbuena. Adam Duvall is 0 for 3. Strike to Duvall.
You know what they call that strike zone, Brownie?
What?
5 o'clock flight, strike zone.
It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Did guys ever joke about that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You heard about the famous Doug Harvey game.
Which one? He had several, didn't he?
It was the final game he worked in 1992. It was at the Astrodome. And he knew he was going to be umpiring home plate. So earlier in that series, he made the rounds and told players on both teams, you better be swinging the bat Sunday, boys. It's my final game.
Well, at least you got the heads up about it.
Pete Harnisch pitched a shutout for the Astros. He was getting calls about 8 inches off the plate. Well, that's an exaggeration. But, yeah, you had better swing the bat.
I like it.
Than Doug Harvey's final game. That game took 1 hour and 44 minutes. Last game of the season.
Oh, my goodness. That is unheard of.
Doug has passed away, but there was an interesting book about his life. They called me God, and that was his nickname. That's what the players called him. Had that authoritative voice, and man, he was in control. You didn't mess with a Doug Harvey call. Lazy pop-up. Evan Gattis over. Davinsky gets out number 2. He has been quite an asset to this Astros team.
His versatility has proven a real strength for these Astros.
This will be the 6th game he's gone at least 3 innings in relief. Suarez the batter. Suarez taking ball 1. He's 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch. And Davinsky has just really helped the guys in the bullpen by taking the load off them with those multiple inning performances. Runner goes to second without a play on Phillips. He'll take it on fielder's indifference. Counts 1-1. So the Astros an out away from their second shutout of the year. Alice Keuchel pitched that first shutout win.
You always love it in these games. Pitcher and catcher get shocked when a guy gets out to second base, and they got to go over the signs when a runner gets to second base. Minor detail.
Yeah, you bet. Keuchel beat Detroit here 1-0 April 15th. That's the Astros' only shutout win of the year. Mike Fiers' 5th win of the year on the line. Hamilton on deck. Valbuena at third. And the Astros win this interleague series 2-1. Chris Davinsky picks up a save. Davinsky with 44 pitches throws 33 of them for strikes and getting his first major league save. Mike Fiers, the winner, goes to 5-3. And the Astros now have won 17 of their last 25 games. Their record is 34-36. Corbett takes a lap around the outfield. Final score, Houston 6, Cincinnati 0.